Hello everyone, sorry about that. I tried to log in and I don't know, my internet is messing up. But I have Candice, military and mental health. We'll be talking about that today. I'm going to try to invite her on here. All right. So Candice, I try to add you on. I don't know if you can.
I'm on.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah, how's it going?
Pretty good. How's everything?
Everything is well. I can't
Awesome.
complain. Yeah,
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm glad. Thank you for joining on in this. It's gonna be chill, just
Of course.
Sunday
My type
vibes.
of environment, yes.
Yeah. So, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. I'm Candace, the Preventionista. I've been going at the Preventionista for about 6 months now. I'm like more so like a mental health advocate. I've been learning over the past year how important it is to, know yourself, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
focus on your mental health. Like,
Whew.
'cause that's everything.
It
To me,
is. It
that's
is.
everything I learned, and
Whew.
then this whole COVID thing, pandemic, this stuff is real. So you got to really hone in and who you are and what you can handle, what you want in life
Yeah.
and face the things that you've been through. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's okay.
Hmm.
It's okay to face what
Everybody's
you've been through.
exactly. Everybody's going through something. It's okay to just be
Right.
open with it. Yeah.
I know, yeah. And it's important to talk about it. It's
Hmm.
important to talk about it. So I'm learning because I was that person. I'm good. I'm good. So I'm glad to finally come out my shell.
Yeah, and to be honest though, like you mentioned something, like COVID was one of those. I mean, I always knew about mental health, but like COVID made me go like, no, this is in your face. You got to focus on it. You got to
Right.
tell everybody about it. You got to, be open. Yeah,
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
that's so true. That's true.
Hmm.
And then you being a therapist, like I can imagine your clients coming to you like, hey, I need help, Like
Hmm.
so you
Hmm.
probably had to double down and like, okay, I know you had problems before. You really gotta really hone in on, how to help those clients. So
Yes, yes. And like you're right. Like my clientele has almost tripled since COVID hit, and people
yeah,
just realizing that it's just that state of self-awareness that
yeah,
everybody's getting to and realizing that mental health is everything.
yeah, yeah.
So, are you ready to start today's topic?
Let's get started. I'm ready.
All right. So, very first question I have is what got you, like, what really got you interested in mental wellness and, everything?
Yeah. So like I said, man, over this past year, I kind of did some self-reflecting, Like I feel like I experienced a lot of death in my life and like I never really experienced it until I joined the military, and
Yeah.
I feel like I couldn't really express myself while I was in the military because I didn't want to be seen as a weak female.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't. I didn't say anything. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm driving on. I'm good. So I never did. And then when I got out, I just kept on going to school and I still never really faced what I experienced.
Yeah.
And then I think this past year, I let me tell you, I was in bed.
Yeah.
And then I feel like God spoke to me like, Candace, you need to do something about, make a platform to help others speak
Hmm.
out about it. You have a lot of background with the military, with education, with in the medical field itself. So, I was just like, I woke up and I was like, the Versista. It came to me because like I'm
Hmm.
in school for prevention science.
Yeah.
So like prevention needs to came out of the prevention science. So yeah, that's how I
Oh,
got started.
what's prevention science about?
How to prevent yourself from going crazy. So like yeah, it's just like anything you want to do to prevent something from getting worse.
Okay.
Like say like you're in a community that's run down, you want to prevent those people who live in that community from continue on to live in that environment. Like
Yeah.
say when it's older, they will like, okay, I lived through that when I was younger, but when I get older, I'm not going to go through that. Why? Because I have a different mindset. I
Yeah.
know what I have if I have what resources I can reach out to. Like
Yeah.
kind of bringing that education to that community, to those individuals,
Oh,
and stuff like that. So that's what
wow,
I've
that's
been learning over
amazing.
the past. Yeah, it's really it opened my eyes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so appreciative of this program that I'm in.
Yeah, wow. So it's a lot of analysis that you do. You analyze factors that affect what's currently
Yeah,
going on to prevent it from happening again.
exactly. And you got to really get into those communities. and say like, hey, I'm not here to change anything. I'm not here to do my own thing. I'm here to learn from you guys and what can I implement to help yourself, really?
Yeah.
Because if you're not involved, there's no purpose of us even trying to go forth and do this.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? Me coming in and making changes, but you're not with it, it's kind of like a waste of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, so
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
lot, so I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I see a let me see. I see a governor in the making trying
I
to
don't know about it.
Yeah.
No stress, please, no stress.
All right. So what's military culture like? I know you mentioned that you had to be tough. You didn't want to pull up a front where you felt seemed weak.
Yeah.
So what's military
Yeah.
culture like right now? Oh,
Like I
back
said,
then.
same thing, man. I mean, I've spoken to some people that's still in, some of my battle buddies,
Mm-hmm.
who are still in, and it's still the same thing. You're a soldier. You don't got time to be all like, sorry, sergeant, I don't feel, you know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
can't really like express yourself like that. And
Yeah.
me being a medic in the military, I had to, when the patients first come in, I had to say like, oh, here, fill out this form, this mental health form. But
Yeah.
like, they're not going to tell you what's really going on, because if they did,
Wow.
you're going to be admitted to, you know what I mean, get seeking
Yeah.
help, and that's going to take away from going to their job, and also people being looking at them like, oh, they're crazy.
Yeah.
But like they've been to war. A lot of these soldiers have been to
Wow.
war, so of course they have some kind of something going on.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what it is. You can't really express yourself like that. I learned.
Mhm.
I know I did see some people that did express themselves and they got, talked to. And I was like, I don't
Wow.
want that to be me. I don't want that to be me. So I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, because I look at some of the clients I have who have PTSD and
Yeah.
just never told anybody for years and used the military as kind of like an avoidance tactic to actually focus on what's going on. And once that was
Right.
over, there was no avoiding it anymore and you had
I'm
to
telling
face it.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because when you get out, it's kind of like, between the mental health and also the physical health. Like you like,
Hmm.
man, I'm broken mentally and physically. Like I
Yeah.
need help all around. And I mean, not everybody's like that, but I'm saying like a
Yeah.
lot. People are
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. So
yeah.
in your experience, like what's a common diagnosis that happens for military members?
Yes, of course, PTSD. That's like
Hmm.
one of the main ones, of course. Um, and then, like I said,
Anxiety?
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think those two are the top. Oh, depression too. Depression. I have to think about when I was before I even got to like the real army. Um, when I was like in so basic training, then there's also like training after that. So
Yeah.
the in between training, it was hard. Like you're in training for like I was in Texas for like 16 weeks,
Yeah.
and it's depressing because you're not with your family. You can't really, you know, go see your family or anything like
Yeah.
that. You're forced to make relationships with people, which I did, but it's still, of course, not the same. But
Yeah.
yeah. So that depression piece is kind of like you're happy being in a new environment, but you're also kind of like, oh, I'm missing people.
Mhm.
So loneliness, depression, anxiety, PTSD, it like all goes together. Like it's
Yeah.
all, yeah.
Yeah, it
So
makes a lot of sense because like you have to get separated from your family, your primary support
yeah.
system, create a new support system, and
Right.
then you go through grief from losing other members in your squad. You go through depression
Right.
as a result of the
You
grief,
get attached to
and then
them, like you better leave,
yes,
go somewhere else.
yes, then in the
Yeah.
PTSD comes into place too. So like, shouldn't it be mandatory for um everybody to actually have a counselor that they talk to every week because of all of
Yeah.
those factors?
Yeah, it should, Tammy. You want
Hmm.
to do it? Maybe you should.
Oh, all day. I can advocate for that. Like,
No,
yeah.
but seriously, that's an excellent idea to have like counseling sessions or something like that. Like, because they
Yes.
usually have like meetings at the end of. I know when I was in Korea, they used to have like Friday meetings before the weekend. Like, hey, don't get in trouble over the weekend. But something like that would be nice.
Hmm.
There are a lot of soldiers like in one unit, so that would take some time. You know what I mean? It just takes some planning that you got to really put in work to do. Which I
Yeah.
don't know. Sometimes when people have a set way of doing things, they don't always want to
Want to
look
change.
for change.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
even if it is beneficial,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't want to be negative. You know what I mean? So, but
Because at the end of the day, like to be honest, I look at how I've conducted group therapy, and I see that group therapy be very beneficial because everybody can share their experiences in one unit, and they can
yeah,
create that camaraderie too, and also even just talk about deep stuff like, oh hey, I miss my wife, or I miss my family,
yeah,
or I'm really and then cry in front of everybody, and then go back and do the
yeah,
job because
yeah. Group
that's
therapy sounds nice. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's a good.
awesome, awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. I
Mm-hmm.
want to have something like that. They should just make it mandatory. Now that I'm thinking
It,
about
sh-
it,
it,
like,
it
that could
should
be
be
like a mandatory
mandatory.
thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they probably would hate it, I'm sure, a lot of the younger soldiers, but
Yeah.
but I mean, it's okay. Like you don't have to share, but
You
I
can
guess some
listen.
people want, yeah, some people don't want
And
people to know the business, but
yeah, and the reason why I suggested group therapy too is because, like in individual counseling, I don't see, like you said, a lot of soldiers will probably just not want to say anything, so they don't get in trouble and get put away. So, but
right,
if it's in a
right,
group, if it's in a group setting and everyone is sharing the same thing of, I lost somebody, I'm going through grief and depression, or I'm anxious right
mhm,
now because I feel like something may happen to me, and then my family's not
yeah,
cannot do anything. All those factors can play in place, and everybody can share together and grow.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good point. And
yeah,
actually, when I got out the military, I actually did group therapy myself, and I
yeah.
actually enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it was nice.
It's so
Because it was like,
beneficial.
yeah, we were fellow veterans, and
Mm-hmm.
like it was like different ages, and we all
Mm-hmm.
shared different perspectives of
Mm-hmm.
how our tour was, and it was good. I
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's a good idea.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
should we should start we should like talk about that and try to bring it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So, all of that being said, do you feel that it is something that can actually be implemented? Like we can just like over time. I mean, we can't expect change overnight.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, but okay. So I'm thinking, like, maybe like in the barracks,
Yeah.
have like, because they have chaplains, you
Hmm.
know, but they're not, they don't focus on mental health. They're more so like, I don't know, Tammy. It's like,
It's a
maybe.
lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking about, where I've been and what I experienced, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, possibly though. Possibly.
Mhm.
It could, maybe,
Mhm.
you know. I know I didn't say anything, but
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's look at it from a prevention science perspective. Like, if you're trying to
yeah,
prevent all these things, what
yeah,
services can be put in place?
yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay, so okay. Let me think. Okay, so I was in. Let's think of a scenario.
Mhm.
So I was in California. We did some training because they were going to get deployed to Kuwait. So we were there for about a month, and we were like in the desert. So I'm thinking if they had like a tent of like counseling sessions, like or like okay, you can go there from 7 to 8 in the morning. We also have afternoon, so that's a good idea. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Have that
Mhm.
because they did have church. So I'm thinking like having like a mental health tent as well,
Yeah.
something they can do. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then me being a medic, we had our own tent, so it could be like a couple of tents lined up was like the helpful stations over there, like the
Yeah.
medical tent, the chaplain tent, and then the mental health tent. Hey,
Mhm.
we got it. I think
Woo! And here's the thing: even in basic training, if you can get like in basic training, get people who are trying to enlist and teach them like
Yeah,
these are the things you're supposed to expect, and when they happen, this is what you can do. These
yeah,
are the services you can get. Like stuff like that can even help
yeah.
create that open discussion culture.
Yeah, yeah, no, basic training is a good starting
Hmm.
point too because it's hard, transition from the civilian world to, army life,
Yeah.
because I'm sure a lot of drill sergeants could tell you, like, man, these soldiers, they're hard to convert sometimes, you know what I mean? Because I know when I was in basic training, it was a couple of soldiers that were like, I can't do it, like,
Hmm.
I'm out of here. They try to run, but it's like, you can't, like, get out the contract like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's,
Is it really tough?
yeah, it
Wow.
is. Like I don't want to talk bad about like it was a good experience though. Like I feel like everyone should experience that. You
Me too, for real. Because like
know?
in I think in Israel, all citizens must go through some type of military training
Oh,
somewhere.
for real? That's how it
Yeah,
is in Korea. That's how it is in
yeah.
Korea. All the
Hmm.
guys did some kind of training with the military. They were actually on our base too. They were kind of working with us, the Korean
Yeah.
soldiers. So
Hmm.
yeah, the guys.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, so we should try to do that in the America.
Oh
Probably
no.
make an uproar.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We talked about talking about the military, and then did you see this second set of questions
Yeah, I did. Oh
with the?
no. I saw it.
Yeah. Um. What do you think about racial trauma?
It's out there.
Hmm.
It's real.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
honestly, like I grew up in Philly, right?
Yeah.
And then I grew up until like I was like 12, and then I moved to the boonies, only colored, you
Hmm.
know. So from then that point on till now, you know what I mean? I've always just been around, other people that don't look like me. So
Yeah.
I've experienced it not as much as other people has, I don't think. But yeah, it takes a lot. Like it's just like say you're living in a bad neighborhood and you experience trauma like that, it's kind of like the same level. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
affects you the same exact way. I think trauma is trauma, and there's
Yes.
no way to say like, okay, I mean they treated you mean because of this, because of that, but like it still sticks
Trump.
with you. Yeah,
Hmm.
it sticks with you, and sometimes it be hard to come to overcome.
It is. It is.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, and if one's not careful, I mean, it just becomes that intergenerational trauma that just keeps happening over and over again and
yeah,
sticks.
yeah. Right,
Yeah.
right, right. So we gotta, and then even now, like I feel like, you know, it's just a lot going on. There's a
There's a
lot going on.
lot. There's a lot.
And, I'm glad that social media is so active as it is. People can express themselves of how they are feeling about certain topics, and just to let it out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's a good way for people to vent. I mean, not always, but I mean, sometimes it's good for people to, share how they're feeling about certain things.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like when I look at everything that's going on in America right now, or even in the past, I just see that like endless cycle that will not end until something drastic is done, and I don't even know what it is.
Right. And I feel bad
Yeah.
for thinking like that, right? But it's like,
Hmm.
I feel like it's true. I honestly feel like it's true.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all we need is love.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's what I be saying. That's what I feel. I feel that. I honestly do. But then I think, like, do people ever want it to be, you know what I mean, equal, or, you know what I mean, that equality thing,
Yeah.
equality, equity thing? Like, it's, I think that's where money comes in, So that's like a whole nother, when there's money involved, forget it,
It's a different type of beast. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
So what do you think about it? You're the therapist.
Whew. And I think I talked about this earlier in one of my videos. I talked about how like we are constantly in that fight, flight, or fight mode.
Yeah.
As a black man, if I get pulled over, I completely feel that pressure inside of my chest that like something bad could happen, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
get straight in that adrenaline mode where I sometimes freeze. Sometimes I feel the need to talk back and say like, look, what's you know what I mean? But I realize that every single option I do can actually get me in trouble. And so that's one of those things like we are reacting in trauma. If you see a man trying to fight or a man trying to run away from, like, it's all trauma based, but no one
Yeah,
is seeing it that way. People are seeing it as, oh, hey, this person is getting mouthy. No, they're not getting mouthy. They're
right,
traumatized.
right,
They're
right.
traumatized and they're reacting to the trauma. Like, and the news media, they're really not helping too because yes, you're showing all these bad things that are happening, but you need to show good things as well because if not,
Mm-hmm.
all we see is bad when we see
Right.
that car, that blue and red light flashing behind us. Like
Yeah,
it's just,
exactly.
oh, something bad is
Exactly.
about to happen right now.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
then the
something,
thing is, sorry,
yeah, go
go
ahead, go
ahead.
ahead.
And I think like when things do happen, they always look at the history of the person and like find the bad things to kind of bring it to the light. So like, oh, they had
Yeah.
a reason for coming after this person because they had
Hmm.
this going on. So I'm sure they was still doing something bad. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like you can't really win, you
Hmm.
know?
Bringing up the past that like that was the past, like which everybody has a past.
I'm
You know, now you're
saying,
bringing it up now, 20 years later. Oh, this person took a
yeah.
candy from the grocery store like
Right,
at
right.
15. Like, come on now.
Seriously. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So, like, really, until we can, like, because everything, like you said, has a mental health business to it. Like, if we can
yeah.
really truly focus on those things and use the media as a platform, because I know good cops. I know cops that are out there doing great, white,
Yeah.
black, whatever. I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but they're not
yeah.
being shown on the news. There was a
Right.
cop recently that bought a car seat for a family in need. When he pulled the
Hmm.
family over and saw the kids just sitting down on the regular seat,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
went out as well and used his money. But those kind of things don't get shown on media.
But that's what the news is for, to
Yeah,
highlight all the bad stuff. So we can say
yeah,
like, we can stay stuck. We can stay
yeah.
negative.
Mm-hmm.
We can get all that depressive feeling, and then we'll
Yes.
need meds. And what the meds do, we get us hooked on them, and that's
Yeah.
where the money comes in. You know, like
Yes.
so.
Yes.
So it's a whole plan. You got to really like flesh out things where you got to filter what comes into your system and your spirit, because if not, that it all affects your mental health.
Yes. And that's
You got to
why
really.
I haven't watched the news in a year and a half.
I can't remember the last time I watched the news.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
crazy.
stopped watching after COVID hit last year. I just stopped because I just realized that
Yeah,
it's just anxiety, just selling
right.
anxiety. That's all it is.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's the same old thing over and over. Don't turn on CNN. It's the same old tape
Hmm.
got playing over and over.
Hmm.
It's just scary every hour on the hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. This has been a really great event right now. Can you tell everybody what you do, like how they can reach out to you and start this prevention? Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Mhm.
So what I do is every month I pick a topic, and then I see how it relates to mental health.
Yeah.
Like this month is mental health. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. Yay! And so I also want to focus on mental health in mamas, because it's Mother's Day
Hmm.
this month. So I want to highlight them.
Oh, that was a good one. That you just gave
Yeah.
me an idea. Yeah.
So you can find some moms to interview.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I tried. That's what I'm doing this month. And it's also Military Awareness Month this month as well. I figured it out yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I try to find a topic every month and kind of related to mental health. And so I've done like finances. I did healthy eating and just being healthy, exercising and stuff like that. So just trying to find different things that it just flows. Like next month, of course I'm gonna devote to the fathers because it's Father's Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I'll do that. And I try to incorporate a military something each
Yeah.
month because, I got to represent for the military.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's what I really do. Kind of just trying to highlight how our mental health affects every single thing in our life. So that's
Yes.
why I try to bring different topics every month. And yeah,
Yes.
so you can reach out to me on Instagram and also Facebook, also YouTube, and TikTok. um,
You're everywhere.
the Preventionista. Yeah, and I'll be glad to, potentially we could work together. Whoever wants to reach out, and we can just let this thing happen. I think the more people that know about how to better themselves, work on their energy, and
Yeah.
their, you know what I mean, and just work on their mental health and
Hmm.
keep on going strong, and yeah. So
Because your mental health is everything. It affects every area of your
yeah,
life.
yes,
Everything,
yes.
including how you brush your teeth.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it does. um, Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Candace.
You're so welcome.
Hmm.
So welcome. Glad.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me to talk on your platform.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
been
we should
great.
definitely do this again.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You have a good one.
All right. All right.